Hi everyone and welcome to Hostile Territory. Should you share your knowledge at work? No, you shouldn't. And why? We'll be talking about that in this video. Stay tuned.
Hostile Territory.
Before we start, as always, I would just like to say a few words about sharing knowledge. And this especially goes if you've just started a new job in a new workplace. If you're a professional at what you do, if you are effective, if you are really good at certain things, it is natural that in your workplace people will ask for you to share your knowledge. This is just something that people do. In a good company, who will respect this, who will take this into consideration, and you will have benefit from that, you can do all of this. I think you can share knowledge, but again, to a certain extent. But in a toxic and hostile workplace, you should be very careful about how you share knowledge. And this is what we will be talking about in this video. Remember this, your knowledge about your work is your main capital and lever within that workplace. And it can be very powerful. It can keep your job. Thanks to it, people cannot drive you away from that work. You can perhaps make some alliances within that workplace that will make things easier. Perhaps you can get a promotion of some sort. The point is that your knowledge is your capital, okay? So what you know is your main lever. The next thing I would like to talk about, which is very important, never overshare your knowledge in a toxic and hostile workplace. If you're in a good company, you can share your skills to whatever degree you want. But in a toxic and hostile workplace, you must take care that you don't share, if not anything, then do not share most of it, if possible. Sometimes you will get an order, and this happens in toxic companies, they will certainly ask you to share that knowledge. It is in the best interest of the company, okay? If more people know how to do that, it will be more effective, and above all, the company will not be dependent on you. If you do that, you will lose what we mentioned previously, you will lose your leverage, and eventually that can lead to you losing your job, trust me. I will make an example from my personal experience in my previous company. One day, after 3 years of grueling work, that is 10, 15, 17 hours, Saturdays, Sundays, I did everything in my power for the best interest of the company. I had a call from my head boss who told me, teach them everything you know. Okay. And I was sort of stunned, because all that I did on my own. I learned on my own. I made systems on my own, everything of that sort. And now that valuable extract was, I had to give it away. And I made one dumb thing because I didn't think it through. Because again, the company's interest was in first place. I gave them the full knowledge I had, okay, everything. So I invested the time, I invested the effort to teach them all that, You know what the end result of that was? Once they learned what they needed, that was in a matter of months, they started secluding me from the company. What happened is, give me the knowledge and go away. That's it. So that's the example. That's what will happen to you if you overshare, okay? They will take the knowledge from you and you will be finished. It goes even to the point that you may lose your job, okay? To avoid this, always make loopholes when sharing knowledge. Think of it as a line that is intermittent, okay? That has holes between them. Whenever they have a problem, they will have to call you. If you do that, you will do two things. First, you will satisfy the management, you shared your knowledge. The second is the management will be aware that they have incompetent people. The management always takes care of the company and takes care of the company interests, so they'll know pretty much what happens. And if push comes to shove, and if those toxic people eventually want to push you out for some reason, want you to get laid off, complain about you or everything else, the management will think twice before laying you off. Such is the power of knowledge, trust me. Because remember, every company takes care of itself. Companies have their own interest at hand, but you have to have your own interest at hand. So don't overshare your knowledge. By not oversharing, by making loopholes in that sharing where you're the key factor, you can simply make the management aware of how important you are, but also how incompetent the other people are. One more thing you must be aware of when making those loopholes in that knowledge. That tactic, and it is a tactic in fact, has an expiry date. Sooner or later, due to the complaining of your coworkers or simply the head management will see it, and at that moment you're gonna lose the mentioned leverage you have. But if you do it, you may have still years of leverage in front of you. You may, through this, expose lots of people to the lack of their knowledge, and perhaps some things may change. All in all, it will give you much more time and perhaps much more opportunity. In the end of this video, and I must say this once more, do not share your knowledge at a toxic and hostile workplace. Fight it as much as you can, even if you seem rude, even if you're not polite, even if you have to change your behavior, do whatever you can to keep your knowledge to yourself, especially if you're in a branch of business which is very lucrative, where there are many secrets of the trade. You know, everything you give away for free in a toxic workplace will be your undoing. If you become tempted to do so out of humane reasons, perhaps, remember that in most cases, the main reason you are there and you are among those people is for them to extract the knowledge you have from you. This again brings only problems to you in the future. The moment they gain that knowledge is the moment you are finished in that company. And the third thing, which is more important, and this may sound very bad, again, very inhumane, but this is from personal experience, what I've seen, so I want to share it. Sharing knowledge is like wildfire. So when you give certain things to one person, that person will share with the other, then with the other, then with the other. And from one person you teach, hundreds of people may have the same knowledge. You overshare like I did. 5 people know what's going on, then 10 people know how to do the job, then 20 people know how to do the job. You lose the job eventually, and when you put in your CV, when you try to get a job as an expert at everything else, you will not be the only expert. What will happen is there will be 100 experts. Don't think that some of them won't work for a lower wage than you. Don't think that there will be younger people than you and everything else. So that is one more big downside. For the end, I would not like this video to have some sort of bad tone, but you know, working in a toxic and hostile workplace is bad business. It is a bad place, and you have to take care of yourself every day, every hour. If you don't, you can get yourself into big trouble. You can even lose your health. All in all, it will be trouble. You know, you have to change your behavior. We made a separate video about this. You simply have to change your behavior, and within that is changing how you share knowledge. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Please like and subscribe. It's a huge help for this channel, and I sincerely hope these videos help. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your time.